Good morning and welcome back to Coffee with the Callers. I'm Father Doug Jeffers and I'm here with
Father James.
And we have a special guest this morning on a Coffee with the Callers with us, and that's Deacon Henry Finch. Good morning, Deacon.
Good morning, Father.
Deacon, welcome.
Thank you very much,
The
Father.
newest collar in the
That's right,
diocese.
that's
The
right.
newest collar. Look
Very
how clean
newest.
that collar is. That collar's clean. Ours is just like tattered.
Pristine. Very good. So Deacon Henry has, as you may know, was just ordained to the diaconate. How long have you been a deacon?
Just slightly over 2 weeks, Father.
Just 2 weeks, and Deacon Henry is with us here for his summer deacon assignment, working with us here at St. Louis, so we're glad to have you here.
Great to be here.
Deacon Henry, we were wondering if we could start off by having you tell us just a little bit about how you came to this point, how you came to be a Roman Catholic deacon.
Sure thing, Father. Well, I grew up not too far from here, just a little bit to the south in San Marcos. Grew up Baptist.
Okay.
And went to a small Protestant school and spent a lot of time studying my Bible.
Oh, very good.
Lots of time studying my Bible, and developed a real interest in church history later on in high school, and also had a couple of really good Catholic friends. And so when I went off to college at Texas A&M University, I entered RCIA there. And with the help of a very good spiritual director and through prayer and discernment, I discerned that God was calling me to enter the seminary for the Diocese of Austin. And I've completed now 6 years of that, studying at the Josephinum in Columbus, Ohio. And I was just ordained a deacon, of course, a couple weekends ago, and I look forward to this summer of ministry here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you with us, and we're super proud to be able to host you. Bishop Vasquez thinks so highly of St. Louis that he sends us guys like Deacon Henry, so we're proud to have you with us. So as Deacon Henry was talking about, he's still a seminarian. He's in his final year of seminary, and he'll be with us all summer, a little bit at Christmas time and a little bit at Easter time, finishing up his studies, but also starting to kind of prepare himself to be a man of service for the parish. And it's interesting for the parish and for the diocese. It's interesting that deacons actually have particular ministries. They're called Menorah. So we'll test Deacon Henry's theological studies here. Deacon Henry, tell us about the Three Menorah of the diaconate.
Sure, Father. Well, the deacon is ordained for three tasks or offices, if you will. That's proclaiming the word, teaching, and serving the poor. Or the scripture says the widow and the orphan, which is sort of a general description of those in need.
Sure. So you're going to be spending your time here. I mean, he's going to be preaching a lot. I've got you scheduled to preach every weekend, either an English Mass or a Spanish Mass.
Right.
And then you're going to be doing baptism, so that's a liturgical ministry there. You're going to be teaching, and you're going to be working over in our social ministries program, maybe going on some mobile loaves and fishes runs and working in the food pantry. So it'll keep you pretty busy. So that teaching, I mean, this is one of your loves. It seems like you're really well suited to be a teacher. You and Father Doug kind of worked up a program for you this summer. Padre, how'd you come about thinking about this program for Deacon Henry?
Well, as you guys might know, last spring we started the Theology Institute here at St. Louis, and we had our inaugural basic teachings course. So we were thinking about what we could do for the summer, and knowing that Deacon Henry was going to be with us, and knowing about his particular love for the Fathers of the Church, we came up with the idea that we would teach this course on the spirituality of the Fathers. That's the saints, and most of them are bishops from the early centuries of the Church. And we decided to call that course Living Voices. This idea that the voices of the Fathers, even though they're from centuries ago, are still speaking to us today and still have something for us today. So Deacon Henry, can you tell us a little bit about what we could expect from that course this summer?
Well, sure, Father. The course is it's the Fathers is such a vast field of study that we're just going to look at sort of the Fathers at a glance, if you will. Look at a couple of key themes, especially as they apply to deepening our own spiritual lives now.
Cool. So, okay, who is it? Your top church father, the church father, your go-to guy when you need to get a nugget of theology that's going to propel you through a particular weekend. Who's your church father that you go to?
Well, that's, of course, a hard one, Father, but I think if I had to narrow it down to one, I would say that my favorite father is St. Ignatius of Antioch. And for one particular reason, his theology emphasizes the centrality of the Paschal mystery, the passion, death, and resurrection of Jesus. And every other aspect of theology flows from and goes back to that. The theologians call it the wheel and spoke model of theology, where the Paschal mystery is the wheel and everything else is a spoke.
Cool. So Antioch, this is a city in modern-day Turkey. I believe it was the first place where the word Christian was used. Isn't that right?
That's right.
Cool. So your class, Living Voices, Tell us about when that class is.
Well, it began this past Wednesday at 6:30, from 6:30 to 8 in Wozniak Hall, and it'll run for 6 weeks, minus the 4th of July.
Okay, great. So check it out in the bulletin or on our webpage. We're grateful to Jeannie Cole today. She's the chair of the Women's Club. She procured for us some Anderson's coffee. And how's it taste? Is it pretty good?
It's pretty good.
It's delicious. I give it my approval.
Oh, Father Doug approves of it. I made the cafe au lait today with it. These guys had the mugs. They're going straight black. I put a little cream in mine.
Very good.
We're glad you're with us for Coffee with the Collars. Say hello to Deacon Henry when you're at Mass on Sunday. Padre, send us off here.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next Friday.